friends! I am back today with another Marvel Legends review, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the figures in the Abomination Bath series line, and I'm excited to do this one. She's one of my favorite characters. I'm going to be showing you Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. So let me bring her in here so you can get a good look at some of the detail on her costume. For those of you who don't know, this series, actually I cannot remember exactly what year it came out, but it came out recently again. Kamala was the first Muslim character in the Marvel Universe, and she's a teenager, so in a lot of ways she's really relatable to a lot of audiences that haven't had a character that they could relate to before, so that was kind of cool. I really like that she's a teenager, the way that I love Spider-Man as a teenager, because I think a lot of the challenges of becoming a superhero and a lot of the challenges of adolescence and growing up sort of make for great reading and more interesting storylines. So I was really excited to see that, and I really enjoyed the story. If you guys haven't read Ms. Marvel, I highly recommend it. Kamala's a great character, and the stories are really well put together. But let's go ahead and talk about this figure, because I have been waiting for another one to come out so that I could pick it up, and I was really excited about it, but I have to say that when I finally got her in hand and got the chance to play with her a little bit, I am a little bit disappointed. So, let me start with the things that I really like about the figure. I think that the facial sculpt and the paint design and the paintwork are absolutely amazing. If you look at her face, the detail in her face is really beautiful, really fine. The hair is really great, although I will say the way that the hair is done, her head does not turn. Let's see, let's hold her body. So we can't get any turning on her head at all. And this, her cape scarf accessory is not removable, so that's something that you kind of have to deal with. And for me personally, the fact that her head doesn't articulate properly, and we're missing additional articulation in the waist here. She has some in her torso, like this, but we're missing, I don't know, it's just the way that her costume is, you know, her legs and hips move, her thighs move, but we're missing something here. It just feels incomplete, and we're missing movement in the head. For me, that's just a huge loss right off the bat, because her flexibility and her ability to change her body are some of her highlights as a character, and I just feel like there needed to be a way for that to be expressed more completely. I have a more specific idea about that, but I'll talk about it in just a second when I finish going over the rest of her features. So really the only movement that we have are in the shoulders, in the arms. Oops, sorry, let me get focus again. And she's got turning in her wrists here. So we've got circular turning, and then her elbow bends like this. We've got turning in her torso, not much of a bend here really. Her head doesn't really turn either way, and you can see even as I'm trying to work it, everything is sort of just like moving together rather than being able to move individually, which bothers me. Her thighs turn, which we're used to. We need that for standing, so that's good. Her knees are all right. They do not, I mean, they don't easily double click. I think they're supposed to, but they just don't. And then her boots turn here, which is weird and kind of useless. And then her feet do the normal stuff that feet do. So what I would have liked to see, I think, as I was really thinking about this character that I love, what would make her better. Oh, I forgot to mention that she also comes with a pair of regular, not embiggened arms. So I just feel like she's most impressive when she's like completely stretched out. And because Kamala is 16, I will say that I really appreciate that the sculpt is slight, narrow, very small, like a 16-year-old girl. This figure is sculpted to look like the age that she is, which I think is wonderful and I really appreciate. But because of that, a lot less material was used. Now, the bath piece that came with this figure is the torso of the Abomination. And this was just a $20.99 piece. So here, let me show you. It comes in 2 pieces like this. And it is, as you can see, substantial. So I think in maybe trying to keep the price point what we're used to seeing is the reason that Kamala was the figure that came with this portion, because the torso of the Abomination is so large and she is so small. But I really would have liked to maybe pay $24.99 for the figure with the bath piece and have a fully embiggened Ms. Marvel to go with this. And if you know, embiggening is what she calls it when she enlarges herself. And when she does that, she does it like Reed Richards. So her body gets wide and flat. Her arms get really long. Her legs get really long. And I feel like rather than just giving her embiggened arms, which is appropriate to the story, it does happen and she does use that. But if it would have come even in the background, because the figure would have been thin and flat, so it wouldn't have still taken more material than it wouldn't have cost a ton more. I think a $24.99 price point with this bath piece and a fully embiggened, wide flat body, full long arms, and full long legs would have been an excellent value. Sorry, the sun is getting me. I'm trying to scoot up. That would have been a much better option that I would have much rather see, where we could just remove the head and put it on the entire new body in any combination, where she could have a wide flat body and regular legs, or she could have her normal body and crazy long arms and legs. There just seemed like there were better ways to make use of the powers that Ms. Marvel has in the creation of this figure. So while I am really happy with the sculpt, the design, and the paintwork on the figure, overall, I think that Marvel missed on this one. I think that, sorry, I'm gonna scoot out here. I think that she could have, they just missed too many opportunities for me to be satisfied with this figure. I will put her on my shelf. I will love her forever. She is very pretty to look at, but I should be able to play with her and have a lot more fun with her than I can. And I think that overall, the Ms. Marvel figure is a miss on the part of Marvel Legends this time. I'm sad to say, because I really wanted to love her. I'll be happy to have her on my shelf, but she just won't be one I can really play with that much. That said, returning to the bath piece for the Abomination, I'm getting even more excited about this figure, this piece. I cannot wait to have the whole thing. Let's hold this separately and you can see the back and put this piece together. So I'm still really excited about my build, but after Captain America, who I don't really even like that much, loving that figure as much as I did, even though I know I'm not necessarily in the mainstream on that, I really had high hopes for Kamala, and it just didn't happen for me this time. So if you're working on the bath, this piece is definitely worth picking up for that alone. If you're a fan of Ms. Marvel and you just want to see her on your shelf, it's worthwhile. Sadly, it's not one that will be great for photographing or playing with, because she just doesn't make the most of what Ms. Marvel should be able to do. So thank you for watching today. I'm really excited to do the rest of the figures in this series, and I actually picked up some in the Crimson Dynamo series, and I'll be doing some reviews of those too. I hope you guys are doing well in isolation, and that when you get out to get your essentials, that you're checking for toys when you can, but not going out to hunt. And I will have another video coming for you really soon. Thank you all so much. My channel has had like a tiny little surge with a lot of new subscribers and people commenting, and I'm really grateful for you all. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'm going to keep trying to make good videos for you. Thanks, and have a great day. We'll see you soon, friends. Bye.